Now, let's look at Eddie Long. This is a man who railed against homosexuality.
Mm-hmm.
Railed against it, openly. This is a man who took faith-based initiative money from George W. Bush, him and a few other pastors, and really, in terms of what I feel about the situation, that is what should have got him run out of town more than this situation here, like the fact that he's like that he likes the same sex, or that he might be bisexual. I don't even know, but he's messing around with little kids. But we didn't run him out of town for the fact that he helped George Bush get into to term for a second term, and took money from George Bush, and they did it off of the homosexual boogeyman. Let's address that.
Mm.
You remember that?
Right. And then him recently, in a parade or something against, I think he was against gay marriages or something like that, and he went out and he was walking around, portraying himself to be this advocate against a lifestyle that we see clearly that he's but he's a contributor to a homosexual lifestyle, but in a perverse manner, because he's dealing with people that don't even have a choice. Like I said,
and to show you the hypocrisy. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying, what people choose to do, like you said, between two consenting adults, I can't really involve myself in that. I mean, my say is not going to stop two men if they want to be together, or two women if they want to be together. I can't stop them, But children, when you involve children, nah. That's where the line should be drawn, and it shouldn't be blurred between the two.
Right, and the hypocrisy, to show you the extreme hypocrisy of this man, you said that he went on a rally against gay marriage, right?
Right.
Allegedly, he had a little marriage ceremony between him and the boys that he was dealing with, where they exchanged rings. Yeah. I mean, this man is an unbelievable hypocrite. And one of the things that we were talking about... What are you saying?
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. One of the things that we was talking about offline is the environment for homosexuals here in America, and also not only here in America, but if you look at I did a show with Bent Radio is in the chat room. That's Aurora Jones. Peace to you.
Peace.
I did a show with her before, and we were talking about the Ugandan situation, where you have homosexuality is actually illegal. It's been banned. It's illegal. You can actually get the death penalty.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And I'm sitting there going, Now let's see. Has that really worked in Uganda?
That's the law. That's the law in Uganda.
Yeah. Has that really worked? Has this whole, because I fundamentally have a problem, because everybody who's listened to this show knows how I feel about the concept of the state and how I feel about government, and I've talked about this many times. I think that it's a fundamental flaw in our thinking when we feel that the way to problem solve things in our community is to make a law. Because, it's very arrogant when you really think about it. It's like you say, well, I don't like this behavior, so I'm going to make a law that you can't do this. All that does is forces whatever the behavior is that you don't like underground.
Right.
And I don't know about anybody else, but I want to create an environment, and I'm quite sure that if there's any black women that's listening on the phone and black women that's in the chat room, I think they will stand up and give me a standing ovation and agree with me. I want to create an environment where we stop the rhetoric against homosexuals and allow the environment to be safe enough for them to be free to be who they are, because I want to know who you are. I think that black women want to know if they're dealing with, if the man is gay or whether he's bisexual. I think they want to know that.
Right.
And if you're bringing out rhetoric when you're talking about killing people and you're talking about, all of this craziness, then what you're doing, you're not getting rid of homosexuality. Let's be clear on that. And this is why I want to do this show. Homosexuality is not going anywhere. So in light of that, do you feel that the rhetoric that's going on right now is helpful for what we need, and is it really even the issue? Are homosexual men, black men and women in this country, are they our brothers and sisters who might be engaging in activity that we don't personally agree with, but are we saying that they're not our brothers and sisters?
Right, because I don't agree with Christianity, or I don't agree with Islam. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to say peace to a Christian. I'm not going to sit at the table and talk to a Christian. I don't agree with their views. I don't agree with a homosexual's lifestyle, but hey, who am I? Ultimately, I can't determine. Everyone doesn't have to agree with Ambassador Ausar or live the life. You know, I'm married. I don't choose to live my life that way. They say that they don't have a choice. They was born that way. Who am I to argue? I can't say what you was born with, what tendencies you was born with. But I find it interesting in Uganda. I wonder if they say there's the death penalty for homosexuals. How about colonialism, imperialism? Shouldn't that get the death penalty?
Thank you. Thank you. My thing is, what's in the pecking order of what we feel is important? It seems like the sexuality thing is really high. It's too high than it's really supposed to be for me. And Bent Radio says in the chat room the law of the death penalty is still being considered, so it's not actually, because there's obviously, if you're going to live in a civilized country, people aren't going to really be supportive of the death penalty for homosexuals or anybody in reality, because that's being argued here when it comes to just criminality in general. Right. There's a debate in this country about whether the death penalty should even be an option on the table. And the biggest problem that I have with the so-called death penalty is who's putting the person to death.
Right.
That's my issue. Who's the person who's pulling the trigger or injecting the needle? Who is that dude that you got the right to put another person to death? Let's go through your resume.
For those of us that, like I said, that have family members that are gay, do you love them? Do you care about them? Do you give them a hug on when you see them, or do you treat them like how some of the stuff that you see going on? And I got a problem with that. I think a person that is afraid or scared of someone that's gay, why are you afraid? Like, is that person bringing up something inside you that you wrestling with that by you seeing that's bothering something that you dealing with? Because if you're sure about who you are, you shouldn't be afraid.
Exactly. It gets too much energy from us. And my question is, like I said, I don't want to do a show where people, I don't want to get into the typical discussions, like whether this is natural or unnatural or this or that. Because, like, as you said, I don't agree with Christianity. I personally don't agree with perms and weaves. I don't agree with it. But if I was to cut off every sister that had a perm and a weave, well, come on. I wouldn't be dealing with my people. Our people are going through all types of things, man.
Right.
All types of things that we don't agree with. Some we do, some we don't. But what I'm seeing missing in this whole equation is this element of love of your people. It's too much rhetoric, and I feel the same way about this rhetoric against homosexuals that I do about the rhetoric against the white man. And it's not, and because it's not productive, and it's a bunch of posturing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of posturing. You ain't doing, like we always said that. You ain't doing nothing. You ain't killing nobody, nigga. So stop it with the rhetoric.
Right.
Well, we got to go out here. It's going to come a time where we got to start killing some babies and get the fuck out of here. You ain't killing nothing. What you're going to do, you're going to get up in the morning and you're going to go about the whole process of empowering this system like all of us do. All of us empower this system. All of us. Because there is no black nation.
Right.
So even if you have your own business, you're empowering this system. Because the money that you're collecting got that white man's face on it.
That's right.
And we need to stop acting like we are so much better than the next person and start looking at each other and having some solidarity. Because if I see a brother and a sister getting beat down in the street, I am not going to tap the cop on his shoulder and say, yo, is that dude gay? And the cop go, yeah, he gay. Oh, well, continue. By all means, officer, continue.
Right. No, that's real talk.